Hello friends, welcome back to the second video of unit number 6, kinetics of particle. In the last video we have discussed about the Newton's second law of motion in solving the problems based on rectilinear as well as the curvilinear motion. Now in the today's video we are going to discuss the next part of this unit, that is work energy principle. Now before that, what is meant by work done? So work done when a particle undergoes a displacement along the line of action of force, then the work done by the force is the product of the force and displacement. It means that when a particle undergoes a displacement, when a force is applied to any particle and it causes the displacement of that particle, then there is a work done, and this work done is determined as it is a product of force and displacement, that is W is equals to force into displacement. Therefore the unit of work done is Newton meter, or it can be joule. Now if there is no displacement, it means that the value of S is equals to 0, then again work done is 0. Similarly, if F is perpendicular, then also the work done is 0. It is just because whenever we are applying a force to any object, the displacement occurs should be in the direction of force. Now if the force is acting in perpendicular direction, in that case the work done is, therefore the force and displacement is occurred in horizontal direction. In that case, as F and S perpendicular to each other, work done is equals to 0, because whenever we are considering the force and displacement, always remember the force both will be in the same direction, or both will be in the same plane, horizontal or vertical. If it is vertical force, then it should be the vertical displacement. If it is a horizontal force, then it should be the horizontal displacement. Work done and displacement should not be perpendicular. If it is perpendicular, then in that case work done is equals to 0. Now based on this, there are few important things related to work done. Work done is denoted by a symbol capital U. Work done is a scalar quantity and has the magnitude and sign but no direction. Work done is a scalar quantity which is having a magnitude as well as the sign conventions. Second, work done will be positive when the direction of force and direction of displacement is same. It means if my direction of force is in the positive direction and the displacement is also occurring in this direction, then in that case this work done is also positive, because both the quantities are positive. Secondly, work done by a force depends on the path over which the force moves, except in the case of conservative forces. This point says that, or it means that, force depends on the path over which the force moves. It will be only the exceptional case in case of conservative forces. Now what is meant by conservative forces? The force due to gravity, then spring force, elastic force, all these type of forces are the conservative forces, whereas the friction force is a non-conservative forces. It means that the forces changes with the path. Means if the motion is in the front direction, the friction forces will be in the opposite direction, or the value of the friction force, that will be depends on what, the coefficient of or the type of surface or type of path. Therefore that type of force is called as a non-conservative forces, and hence the work done of a force depends on the path over which the force moves. That is, in case of gravity, in case of spring force, or in case of elastic force, this work done does not depends on the path. It is depends on the path in case of only non-conservative type of forces. Now the work done is determined as, for example, here two figures are shown. In first figure the force is applied is a horizontal force, and in the second figure the force applied is a inclined force. So in these two cases, how to determine the work done? That is, here we know that A is the initial position of the block and A dash is the new position of the block which is caused because of the application of force, or we can say a force F is applied to block A, therefore it will be shifted to a new position of A dash, and S is the displacement of this block. So therefore work done is equals to force into displacement, that is U from 1 to 2 or from first position to second A to A dash, it is equals to integration of F into dx. Similarly here, if the force is a inclined force F by making an angle of theta with respect to horizontal, then in that case the work done is equals to the component of force in x direction, because here the displacement will occur in the x direction, and hence we have to consider the force also acting in the x direction, that is nothing but the Fx, the component of force F in x direction, which is equals to F into cos of theta, so integration of Fx into dx. Now in above cases work done in vertical direction is 0, as the vertical displacement is 0, as there is only horizontal displacement, therefore the work done is only in horizontal direction. Here if you consider the force in vertical direction also Fy, but here the displacement in vertical direction is 0, therefore work done in vertical direction is 0. Now there are three different type of work done which we are going to study. First, the work done by gravity forces, second the work done by friction forces, and third the work done by spring forces. Now let's see first thing, that is work done by gravity forces. Now consider a vertical motion of the block from point A to point B. So here we are considering one block is there which is initially at the position A, and now it will be vertically moves to new position B. The weight of the block is acting vertically in downward direction. Now work done is due to gravity force. Here the force applied is considered as a gravity force, and as the displacement is in vertical direction, because when it is moving in vertical position A to B, then the displacement occurs in vertical direction, and hence the force will be considered in vertical direction. So here you can say y1 is the initial distance, y2 is the final distance, and difference between y2 minus y1, h is the vertical displacement of the block. Therefore work done is equals to force into displacement. So force is the weight of the block, that is nothing but mg, and dy is the displacement occurs, a small displacement occurs. Now here from A to B, that is from 1 to 2, a force is mg and dy is the displacement occurred, which is nothing but y2 minus y1, which is equals to h. And here the negative sign is the direction of force and the direction of displacement are opposite, because you can see over here the force is applied in the downward direction, but the displacement is occurred in the upward direction. So as the force and displacement both are in the opposite direction, therefore the work done is negative. Now if the force as well as the displacement both are in the same direction, then in that case work done will be positive. So this will occurs when a particle is moving from higher elevation to the lower elevation. Suppose initially the block is over here, and now finally it reaches at this new position. Now in this case the work done force is in the downward direction, as well as the displacement also in the downward direction, as both the quantities are in the same direction. Therefore work done is positive when the particle moving from higher to lower elevation, and vice versa, that is in case of the particle moving from lower to higher elevation, work done is negative, as the direction of force and direction of displacement are opposite. Second is the work done by frictional force. We know frictional force is equals to mu into n, the coefficient of friction multiplied by the normal reaction. Now work done by frictional forces is always negative, because it is acting against the direction of motion. So if I am considering here a block is kept, and this is a direction of motion, then the friction forces will be acting in this direction, and as direction of motion is in the forward direction, so displacement is occurred here in the towards right direction, and the friction forces are acting in the opposite direction. So as both will be in the opposite direction, it means that the work done is negative, which is nothing but minus mu into n into s. And this says that the work done by the frictional forces is always negative, because the frictional forces are always acting opposite to the direction of motion, and the displacement occurs in the direction of motion. Hence both the force and displacement are always in the opposite to each other. Therefore work done in frictional force is always negative. Third, work done by the spring force. Now when the spring is stretched or compressed, it does the work. So if you are considering any spring, this is the spring considered. Now if it is at the rest condition, then there will be no work done. But if it will be get stretched, means it will be get elongated, or it will be get compressed, or it will be get pressed, then in both the cases there is a displacement occurs, and as the displacement occurs, it means there is a work done. And therefore considering a spring of stiffness K, to determine the work done in the spring due to compression or elongation, considering a spring having a stiffness as K. K is also called as a spring constant. Distance x is its undeformed distance. Now work done by the spring force is equals to minus K into x. So here K is equals to, or the spring constant is equals to, F divided by x. It is all, this force is again negative, because this force is always acting in the opposite direction of motion. Means if I am stretching the spring, the force will be acting over here, that will be get stretched. And similarly if I am applying a force in the compressive force, negative force is applied, the displacement is get reduced. So spring force is always F is equals to minus K into x. So therefore K is equals to minus F divided by x, and hence work done is equals to force into displacement. Again, so force is again always applied in the opposite direction over here when it will be get stretched. So here the work done from first to second position is limit within the limit x1 to x2, which is equals to minus F into dx. So therefore substituting the value of F as minus K into x, work done u1 to 2 is equals to minus K by 2 into x2 square minus x1 square, where x2 and x1 are the deformation occurs in the spring when it will be get stretched. Now work done by the spring force is negative when the spring is get stretched. In this state the spring force and applied force acting opposite to each other. Then work done by the spring force is positive when the spring is returning to its original position. So when it will get stretched or compressed, the force will be acting in the opposite direction. That's why the work done is negative. And when the spring is returning to its original position, means when we are releasing the spring, then in that case work done is positive. So here you can see in this figure the stretching of the spring or deformation in the spring is shown, where x2 and x1. To understand this, let's consider, suppose initially this is the position of the spring. Now in the first it will be get stretched, like here. So this will be the initial deformation when it will be get stretched, that is nothing but this length is x0, this total length is x1. So this will be equals to x1 minus x0, and hence here when we are considering, or if you are considering here x1 as the initial and x2 as the total length. Let me clear this in the more clear way. So considering x1 is its original and x2 is the length in the deformed state, so this will be x2. So here this work done from the limit x1 to x2, and hence solving this finally you will get x2 square minus x1 square, where x1 and x2 are the deformation occurs in the spring. Now next is work energy principle. To find out this, we are using the Newton's second law, which we have discussed in the previous video, that the summation of forces acting on the object or on the particle is equal to inertia force. So summation of F is equals to m into a. Now we know a is the acceleration, that is rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So substituting the value of a as a dv by dt, then summation of F equals to m into multiplying by dx and dividing by dx. So further this will be get more simplified as m into dv by dx, and this dx by dt is nothing but rate of change of position with respect to time, that is nothing but v is equals to dx by dt. So this expression will become summation of F equals to mv into dv by dx. Now transferring this dx to left hand side, on right hand side it will be mv dv, and again integrating the equation within the limits, that with position x1 the velocity is v1 and with the position x2 velocity is v2. So therefore summation of F equals to x2 minus x1, that is equals to m into v2 square minus v1 square into 1 half, where we can see this is nothing but force into displacement. x2 minus x1 is nothing but the change in position, that is nothing but displacement, and force into displacement is nothing but the work done. Similarly over here m into half v2 square, so half of mv square is nothing but the kinetic energy, and as here the final velocity, so this will be the final kinetic energy, and v1 is the initial velocity, so half of v1 square it will be initial kinetic energy. Therefore we can say that work done is equals to change in kinetic energy, and this is called as an work energy principle. That means work done is equals to change in energy, that is final kinetic energy minus the initial kinetic energy. Also further, if you are simplifying this same expression of work energy principle, you can see here F into S, work done, is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, or you can see here initial kinetic energy plus work done is equal to final kinetic energy. Here whatever it is initial kinetic energy, that I am transferring to left hand side, so finally you will get here initial kinetic energy is plus work done is equals to final kinetic energy. This expression is just rewritten or expressed in another way. The basic principle is remains same, that is the work done is equals to change in kinetic energy, which is called as an work energy principle. Now based on whatever the things we have studied up till now, let's solve some of the problems to find out the work done or the forces or some another required parameters using the work energy principle as well as using the work done. So first example, a woman having a mass of 70 kg stands on elevator which has downward acceleration of 4 meter per second square. So the mass of woman is given 70 kg and its downward acceleration is given 4 meter per second square. Starting from the rest, it means initial is 0. Determine the work done by her weight and work done by normal force which the floor exerts on her when elevator descends by 6 meter. So elevator descends by 6 meter, it means that the height is given as a 6 meter. Now in the first case, here the woman will be get accelerating in downward directions. It means here the weight of the woman is acting in vertically downward direction, that is here the work done is due to the gravity force. That is here we can say that the force is acting vertically in downward direction. Then also second thing, the acceleration is also in downward direction. It means the displacement of the woman is also in downward direction. So here we are using the formula of work done due to gravity force, and it will be moving from higher to lower elevations. So work done is equals to force. Now here force is the weight, that is m into g, and the displacement is h. So work done by her weight is equals to 70 into 9.81 into displacement 6, which is equals to 4120.2 Newton meter, or we can say here joule also. Second thing which we have to find out, that work done by the normal force which the floor exerts on her. So here when weight of the woman is acting in downward direction, a normal reaction is exerted on her by a floor. Here again by using the Newton's second law of motion, summation of Fy equals to m into Ay. Now motion is in downward side, it means that W is more as compared to N. So here taking this W minus N equal to m into Ay. So substituting the value 70 into 9.81 minus N equals to 70 into 4. So solving this we get the normal reaction value as 506.7, and therefore work done by the normal force equals to force multiplied by the displacement h. Now here the normal reaction is acting in vertically upward direction, therefore it is minus n, and the displacement is in downward direction, hence the work done is negative over here, that is 2440.2 Newton meter or 2440 joule. Work done is negative because normal reaction act in opposite direction. So in this way we are to find out the work done due to gravity forces, that is force multiplied by the displacement. And here also to find out the work done by normal force, first of all we have to determine the normal reaction value by considering the free body diagram and by applying the Newton's second law of motion, or you are taking the summation of forces in y direction equals to m into Ay over here. Next second example, the spring is unstretched when x is equals to 0. If the block moves from the initial position x1 100 mm to the final position x2 as a 200 mm, determine the work done by the spring on the body. The second, work done by the weight. Take the spring constant K equals to 4 kilonewton per meter. Now initially the spring is unstretched, so x is equals to 0. Now in the first position it will get stretched from 100 to 200 mm, therefore x1 is 0.1 and x2 is 0.2. The spring constant is given K 4 kilonewton per meter, or you can say 4000 Newton per meter. Now here the block is kept like this on this inclined plane, making an angle of 20 degree with the horizontal. Mass of the block is given 7 kg and K is given 4 kilonewton per meter. And we have to find out the first thing, that is work done by the spring on the body. So work done by the spring is determined as minus half of K into x2 square minus x1 square. As here the spring is get stretched, and in case of stretch or compressed position the work done is the negative, therefore this negative sign comes over here, that is minus half of K into x2 square minus x1 square. Now substituting the values we get work done by spring is equals to 60 Newton meter or 60 joule. Second thing, it is asked that work done by the weight. Now to find out the work done by the weight, so here weight of the block is acting vertically downward, that is mass is 7 into 9.81, and this angle of inclination is given 20 degree. So here also this angle of inclination is 20, and hence the weight is get resolved into components as 7 in 9.81 into sine 20 and 7 into 9.1 into cos of 20. So here we have to consider the work done by the weight on the body. Now here the displacement of the body is occurred along this inclined plane, and hence the displacement force in the incline or work done is equals to force multiplied by the displacement. So first force is 7 into 9.81 into sine 20, and the displacement occurred is from 100 mm to 200 mm, that is nothing but the 100 mm or 0.1 meter. So W into sine theta or 7 into 9.81 into sine 20 into displacement 0.1 is 2.348 Newton meter or joule. Now here if you are considering the another force also, that is W into cos of theta, but in W into cos of theta the displacement is 0. So work done in this direction is equal to 0. There is only work done in the direction of displacement. Next, third example, the car having mass 2000 kg is originally traveling with 2 meter per second. So here a car is given, weight of the car is given 2000 kg and it is moving with a velocity of 2 meter per second. Determine the distance it must be traveled by the force of 4 kilonewton in order to attain a speed of 5 meter per second, neglecting the coefficient or friction. So here mass of the car is given 2000, therefore weight of the car is 2000 into 9.81. Initial velocity is given 2 meter per second, final velocity it should attain 5 meter per second. Now force applied is 4 kilonewton, or you can say 4000 newton, and we have to find out how much will be the distance travelled s. So here to solve this problem we can use the work energy principle, that is work done is equals to change in kinetic energy, that is final kinetic energy half of mv square minus half of mu square. Now drawing the free body diagram, here weight of the car is acting vertically downward, which is get resolved as w sine 20, it should be 10, and here w cos 20. Then further the force is acting at 20 degree, so therefore again force is get resolved as 4000 cos 20 and 4000 sin 20. Next, substituting the values over here, now we are considering the summation of forces. So here the displacement is occurred in the along the inclined plane, hence we have to consider the forces along this inclined plane only. So here the force will be 4000 cos of 20, so 4000 cos of 20. Next is 2000 into 9.81 into sin 10, so here 2000 into 9.81 into sin 10. So by mistake the value will be remain to write over here. The answer is calculated by considering this value. So 2000 into 9.81 into sin 10 multiplied by the displacement, which is equals to half of m into v square. So mass is 2000 and v is given 5, minus half of 2000 into u is given 2. So solving this we get the unknown parameter value s as 59.69 meter. It means that by applying a force of 4000 kilonewton 4000 newton, here the velocity will get changed from 2 to 5 meter per second, and within that time or within that change in velocity it will causing a displacement of 59.69 meter. Now let's see one more problem. A package is projected 10 meter up the inclined plane so that it reaches at the top with 0 velocity. Determine the initial velocity of the package at A. Take coefficient of kinetic friction as 0.12. So here it is shown that an inclined plane is given on which a package is there at point A, and it will be get vertically projected at a distance of 10 meter means up to B. So we have to find out the initial velocity with which the packages get projected, and for that coefficient of kinetic friction is provided as 0.12. So here the displacement occurred is 10 meter, final velocity is given 0, then initial velocity we have to determine, then weight of the packet, let's say m is a mass and therefore weight of the packet W is equals to m into g. So using the work energy principle, work done is equals to change in kinetic energy. So here drawing the free body diagram, the weight is acting vertically downward, m into g, which is get resolved here mg cos of 15 and mg sin of 15. Friction forces are acting opposite to direction of motion. So here friction forces is equals to mu k into n, that is 0.12 into n, where n is equals to mg cos of 15. This will be determined by considering the summation of forces along this inclined direction, that is summation of Fy equals to 0. Then here n is equals to mg cos of 15. So here therefore resultant force F along which the displacement occurred is minus 12 into mg into cos of 15, that is nothing but the friction force, this one Fs, mu into n. So and as we know friction force is always opposite to direction of motion, so minus. Then second force is mg sin of 15, which is minus mg into sin of 15. So solving this, minus mg will be taken as a common and 12 cos 15 plus sin 15. So here m, applying the work energy principle, work done equals to change in kinetic energy. So the forces will be these forces which we have calculated along the inclined plane multiplied by the displacement, that is equals to m into half of final velocity is 0 and initial velocity is to be determined. Here the value of s, displacement, is given in the problem as it will be get displaced at a distance of 10 meter. So substituting the value of s as 10 over here, so unknown is only u, as m will be on both the sides and it will be get cancelled. So solving this, finally we get initial velocity u as 8.57 meter per second. So in this way, by applying or by using the work energy principle, you can easily determine the initial velocity. See, the problem which we can solve by using work energy principle is the same problem we can also solve by using the Newton's second law of motion. But here instead of applying Newton's second law of motion, if you are using work energy principle, within a simple steps you will get the final answer. As work energy principle is also derived from the Newton's second law, so the problem which is get solved by work energy is also get solved by Newton's second law. Or further, whatever the third next video we are learning or we are discussing, that is impulse momentum principle, that impulse momentum principle is also derived from Newton's second law. So the problem is get solved by Newton's second law, is get solved by work energy, is get solved by impulse momentum principle. So depending on the required parameter asked in the question, we can choose the method which is simple to avoid the more complexities. Okay, so in the next video we are going to discuss that impulse momentum principle. Till that, thank you.